Alright, what's up, babies? So, I'm gonna show you some tips again. I've been doing it on Snapchat, but I decided just to record some gameplay for you so that you can go back and watch it. First off, we're just gonna go on a general setup for defending site. So if this is site, I know the hostage is over there, but if this is site, you kind of first off, you're gonna want to reinforce all the walls around it, unless you're playing bomb. If the bomb was say in here, then you'd want to make a hole to the other room. But since this is just secure and hostage, if, if there's only one site, you're gonna want to button up all the walls. So these walls, these walls, these walls, these walls, right? And I'm pretty sure you know that by now, but it's just a good reminder. And then plus, if your teammates want to rotate hole, you might want to leave one wall open. Like some people like having this one open, and then this one reinforced, that one reinforced, that one, and that one over here. So, but what you want to do, so I'm going to explain anchoring first. So anchoring is where you're going to want to stay on site, or at least be near site. Like you can be right outside of it, kind of watching different angles. But anchoring, when people say anchoring, they basically mean you're going to be playing a heavier character, usually 3 armor or somebody with an ACOG. I'm playing Alibi right now just because I want to show you an example later. But typically on an anchor, you're going to want a 3 armor like Echo, Rook, Doc. Cap Can's a good one. Legion's always a good one. So anybody that their ability is good to put around site. So the first thing what you're gonna want to do is you don't want to peek directly. Like if the attackers are coming through window or through like staircase over there, what you don't want to do is you don't want to be like this. You don't want to be in the open, right? Because they can run down, they can shoot you. You're really easy to see. They can come through sunrise and shoot you. What you want to do is you want to get an angle where you want to only see like one entrance, right? See how small of an angle they have on you now, but you have a pretty big angle in the doorway. So if they stop in the doorway to take a peek, just you can light them up, right? The other thing you can do, hold a larger angle, but the only area they can see you from is sunrise bar, right? That way you can't be seen by stairs and you can't be seen by kitchen. So if you're peeking an outdoor window, especially if they're repelling, you don't want to be out in the open like this, just waiting there. I often see you, Suzanne, no offense, this is a video for Justin and Nate too, but mostly for you. I'll see you standing out in the open like this. Well, you don't want to do that. You want to back up like that, get some cover, maybe give it a pixel peek like that. That way you can still see the window and you're gonna see when they push up. You see how I left my hologram there? Well, that's just an example of what you'll be able to see. So if we come back over here, I'll show you kind of what it looks like. I don't know, it's gonna look a little different in live just because you're gonna be leaning. But if I was outside, look, that's basically all you can see. I mean, your head would be right there, but you see how much less you can see. Whereas if you're standing in the open, it would look like this. So you were standing right about there, right? Okay, let's take a look now. You see your head, some of your chest and shoulders. So these are just good examples of how to anchor on site and keep good angles, right? The other thing you can start learning to do is setting up cover properly. So what I call the L-shaped cover is I find it the best for me, especially when I'm anchoring, is having your side cover and your front covered. So it looks like an L. You see how it's an L? L. And you can do this on a lot of pieces of cover. So like here. I mean, that's a horrible style. It's not the example. Like here's a good spot. So look, bam. Now you have cover on your left side and you have cover on your right side. But this way, if they're coming through that door, you can kind of peek around here. Or you can pop up, get that. Right. Let's do some more over here. So here's another example of a L shape. This just extends the cover of the bar. So if you're playing bar, you can You can play over here. You can debate them, leaving that cover there. They'll probably shoot at it, come out, and shoot back. Or you can have a quick rotation. You can play here, be like, oh, they're in there. Boom, come over here. Look, now you got another angle already set up, right? L-shaped cover. That's pretty important for anchoring, especially over here. Here's another one that you could use. This one's a little bit harder to hold. It's more long range, especially if you're fighting somebody in Sunrise, or in any map really that has a long hallway between you and the cover. But see the L, your side's covered. You can't get shot from your left. You can hold the window angle here. See, although your right side's open from here, but you know, that's just part of the game. You're always gonna have something open. You're always gonna have a flank open, unless your like cover's like really insane. But that's L-shaped covers. So the other thing I want you to start practicing too is setting up pixel peaks. It's kind of hard to do. It takes practice, but usually what I do is I get close to the wall and then I might move over just a little bit and put it down. So there you go. Now you got your pixel peak on the bar. So what I started doing is you could push it past the door, or you can even bring it into the door. So line it up with the wall, move over a little bit, and set it up. So either way, you're probably gonna get a pixel peak on either side. It's they updated it where the shield can be a lot closer to the wall, so it's a little bit harder to do, but you can still do it if you practice. So this way, if they're if this is sight and you know they're coming Sunrise, look at this, but bam, you got a sick pixel peak. So let's show you what that looks like. I know this is standing up, but I'll show you. So if I was an attacker and I was pushing Sunrise and they came in, just ignore the top part. But look, you see, you can barely see anything, and if you come back over here, look at what we can see. Right? You can see that whole area right there. So really, really good anchoring method. Pixel peaks. It's hard to see. It's honestly really hard to shoot through too. Really effective strat. It takes practice getting the deployable shut up. But it's good to learn. We're about to 30 seconds left in the defense round, but then I'll show you some advice on attack. But yeah, pixel peeking is pretty important. The other thing you could start doing is murder holes. That's the other thing you gotta learn. So if you know there's a popular area they come through, you might want to set up a melee. And what some people do is they'll bait a hole. They'll make a big hole like that, and then maybe go somewhere else and make a murder hole over there. So if they come in, they might see that big hole first, and then they'll shoot at that, and then you'll be able to kill them because they're shooting at the wrong hole, right? But let me get on attack here and show you some techniques in aiming, and then maybe we'll come back to defense. So I'll play Sledge. I know you have Sledge, and you're not strong on Sledge, which is fine. But this will give you some good advice on aiming. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Need to recover the hostage. 10 seconds before insertion. 5 seconds. You are clear to engage.
Okay.
Find the hostage and proceed to extraction point.
So, first off, what you want to do is if you know the teams are really good at spawn peeking, what you're gonna want to do if you know where the site is, just leave your cam out somewhere. This one up here is a popular spawn peek, but that way your cam's there. You can check before you go around the corner, like okay, nobody's peeking, or if somebody is peeking, you might come up here, and then pre-fire it, right? So that way you might get a kill, or they might run away because they're spooked. But leaving a cam out somewhere is typically good, especially on maps like Canal, this map, Chalet. Honestly, every map. It doesn't really matter. Every map's is pretty good to leave a cam out somewhere, especially if you're entering from a certain angle. But so okay, so I'm just gonna go over soft breaching. And soft breaching is where the wall is not reinforced. It's called soft wall. There's no reinforcement on the other side. So but what you want to say if kitchen this site, this site here, and they left this wall open. What you want to do is you want to make angles for your team, right? You want to make it so that you can make a hole and you can use it to try to get some kills, but you also want to leave it so that your teammates can use it to also cover angles. So if you know the door is here, you might want to bust this right here. Now that way it leaves you a nice angle to check it out. And it also gives you a good angle on that door and this wall. This is a really common spot for mirrors and things like that. So that way you'll have this open. You can peek it like that. It's a really safe peek. It's hard to see. You could get easily headshot, especially if they're good at aiming. But that's the thing about soft breachers is you kind of want to make angles for your team. So let's come over here. So say if this is the site, which it is, and they left this wall soft. What you're gonna want to do is you're not gonna want to stand, especially like on Buck Sledge or even Breacher Charge. You can run away. But what you don't want to do is do this, and then get shot. What you want to do is you want to get at an angle where you can get close to the wall, hit it, and then back up. You see that? Look at that. That's a common spot, blue bar. You can start clearing it. You can go around. Bam. You just cleared the room, right? So you don't want to stand like that. The other thing you can do is you can hit up into sites. I mean, it's pretty. It's hard to figure out what maps you can do it, but if you can stand on desk and you can hit up, that way you can see up in the site. I know that's like way more advanced than what we're doing right now, but it's good to know. So let's come over here, and we'll go upstairs, and I'll show you some different ways that. So this stuff's usually all fortified, but usually they keep this wall open. So you're gonna want to take out that cam, of course. On every map, you're gonna always want to take out the cams first, because vision in this game is really important. But here we go. We'll do it again. So I'm on Sledge, and you know this wall's soft, so you're gonna come up, bam, back up, and you're gonna want to peek. And this, I mean, debris in this game is so fucking buggy, but so then you can peek. So you can see over here. You can back up a little bit, come back here, clear it, clear it, clear it, and then you can move on, right? And then this will make a good angle for your teammates to use. Plus, you can also go through it to enter site. So I'll do it again, so this way you'll learn. So if you see someone like a leg or an arm, you're like, oh shit, just shoot them through the wall. You don't have to take the time and try to do that unless it's reinforced. If it's soft, you can just try to shoot them through the wall. But again, you can go through it. If you want to enter site quickly, I know this is another thing that people do, is you can just, if you know, like if you droned it out and you know nobody's in there, you can just do this. Bam, you're in, crouched. You can't do it standing because you'll get stuck on the bottom thing. So you want to do it crouched. Boom, you're in, right? And that's the same on Buck. Literally what I'm doing on Sledge, you can do on Buck. Buck's a little bit. I think he's more of a complex hero because it's his gun and you can be a little bit faster. But Buck, typically, if you want to peek a wall, you're gonna want to do it this size. So you're gonna want to shoot it like up here, like bam. You shoot your shotgun and then you peek. Same thing, literally same thing. So I'm gonna go over some aiming, especially for long range. So if you know like sites over there, in hookah or the luxury room, whatever it's called, you don't want to wide peek immediately like that. You want to come in, you want to peek it, go back, come in, peek it, go back. Or what some people do is they come in and then they flip like that. So come in, flip. So that way, this is like uber advanced. Even for me, I still practice it. But what really good players do is if they see somebody like holding this corner and they wide peek, well they're gonna flip their hitbox over to the left. So you see someone, flip it and shoot, right? Now I don't recommend that for now because I know you're new to shooters and this is like a super new thing. But when you get better and better at the game, or even in future shooters, if they have a lean mechanic, you might just want to try practicing going in and doing that. The other thing you can do to peek corner, say if this is the site over here, you can just do this. Just kind of go back and forth, right? So usually what I do is I line my body up with the edge of the door frame, and then I'll peek it like that. Or if you want to peek down here, you do this. So line yourself up. See, I can see the edge of the door. Right. So the right side of your body is going to be a little vulnerable to shots, but at least you're not going to get hit in the head immediately. But yeah. So, and then if you're in a wide peak and somebody's like in the middle and you're like, oh shit, what you want to do is you have AD, right? AD. You can go back and forth like that. You can hold your stance if you want. Or even more advanced, you can go EDQA, EDQA, and that way you can lean back and forth while shooting. Your crosshair doesn't really change much except for the angle. But that would be if you're like in the middle of the open, you're fighting somebody and they're shooting at you too. You just want to AD back and forth. AD. The other thing you can do is if you come out, you see someone. Oh, no, don't do that. That's drop shotting. You're just going to want to hit C sometimes. So like they shoot at you, drop to the crouch, right? So I'll do it hip fired so you can see what it looks like. So they're shooting at you, bang, 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 drop to the crouch. I can even do it earlier. You see someone, bang, 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 drop to crouch. Right? You see what I mean? Okay, I'm going to go over some grenades. You struggle with grenades. So if this was sight, so what you're going to want to do is, if you know somebody is right here, it's a one-on-one. What you don't want to do is this. Right? You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to lean, you want to cook it. Oh! Well, you don't want to do that either. But anyways, what you what you want to do is you want to cook it, you want to lean out, throw it, and come back in immediately. So throw it, come back in. Throw it, come back in. I just clipped the edge of the door frame, so that would have been a throw. But you definitely just want to throw it and come back in. Now, if you're out of frags and you know he's right there, this is what you do. And you know he's there. You don't want to just wide peek, go out, and blast him. What you want to do is you want to stay in cover. You want to come out, bring it back in, and then pre-fire him. Like, it doesn't matter that you're shooting the wall. It's important that your bullets are going to go out as soon as you go around the corner. Right? Or if they're right here is this common spot. Like, just come out. That's how you pre-fire. You just cover it. Okay? And same thing goes. You wide peek. See that? Bam, 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 back and forth. It's harder to hit your head. You're moving fast. You're harder to hit. So, okay, let's come over here. We'll come down here. And I'll show you one more thing on attack, and then we'll suspect the defense. So, say if sight's here and you know there's people in here, what you don't want to do, this is my rule, it goes for everything, is you don't want to sprint in if you know sunrise is clear. Because they could be peeking that angle, they could be peeking from kitchen, they could be peeking from staircase. So what you want to do is as soon as you enter the building, just stop sprinting.
15 seconds remaining.
Just go around, clear it. Don't sprint anymore. Even though you might know it's clear, just don't sprint. Just still hold those angles, then you can go in. Right? Never sprint once you're indoors. I call it the hold on, we'll let this. Well, I call that the Justin mistake, because when Justin first started playing the game, what he would do is he would just sprint in to sight, which is not what you're supposed to do. You don't want to sprint in to sight. So let me get what was I gonna go over? I was gonna go over something. I think it was on Alibi, maybe? Yeah, okay, well. So this is what I call the Justin mistake, and Nate and I joke about this all the time. So this is sight. Sometimes what people do, or might even be what you do sometimes, is you'll just sprint in, right? You don't want to do that. If you know where they are, say if they're in that corner, you don't want to do this. You don't want to go and then aim, right? You want to do this. You stop, pre-fire it. You always want to stop. That way your crosshair's already up. You're going to shoot them. So stop, shoot them. Right? And same thing goes. You can always pre-fire. Come in and out, AD, AD. See how I did that? Come in. And look, even right here, you're still shooting through into that corner. Okay. So I think that covers it for a lot of the basic stuff. I'm trying to think of other things, but I don't really think there is much. Let's go over silent stuff really quick. So what you got to learn to do is leave your thumb on Alt and walk. They can't hear you if you walk. It's a little more risky because you're moving really slow and they can see your head first. But you might catch people off guard, and you'll be able to kill them. But other than that, you're playing well. Let me see. Went over that. Went over that. Well, yeah. So there's just some advice. Just now you can go back and watch this video if you want, and I can make if you have more questions, you can go over the video. But thanks for watching.